What foods are absolutely delicious, but are a pain in the asterisk to eat? Prickly pear. Also known as cactus fruit. Pomegranates. Pain the butt seeds. And the juice really stains. Coconut. Always have hard times breaking the shell and then picking all the delicious coconut meat. Pineapple. So nice but they literally eat your mouth, or the enzymes do. Captain crunch. The roof of my mouth. So good though. Mangoes. They are my favorite fruit but least favorite to clean up. Fresh pineapple. I eat while the acidity eats away at me. Most people in the West consider carp to be a trash fish. You catch it. And then you throw it away. But it's actually the first domesticated fish. Farm-raised for thousands of years in China. It's a delicious fish that takes on the flavor of whatever you decide to spice it with. And it can be cooked in a number of ways. However, it has a million tiny hair-like bones and it is a pain in the to clean and fillet. I think that's mostly why people don't eat it when they catch it. It's just really difficult to get all those bones out. I've found the easiest way to deal with those hair-like bones is to either cook chunks of the fillets in a double broiler or to pickle the fillets. Both methods completely remove those hair-like bones so you don't really have to mess around with them. They just kind of disappear. But for a large fish, with a good meaty fillet, it's in my top 10 common fish to catch and eat. As a runner-up, gar is also a delicious fish that many people don't consider eating. The hardest part about cleaning a gar is cutting through their armor. And I don't mean scales or skin. I mean it's like cutting through thin steel. You need tin snips or the sharpest knife in the world. But once you get through that, you get 2 long backstraps that firm up and honestly taste like chicken. They have a texture when cooked like a firm chicken breast. And like carp, they also kind of take on the flavor of whatever you spice it with. Neither species tastes fishy at all and are fun to prepare and cook and eat. Edit. I've been informed that it's double boiler. Not double broiler. But I've only ever heard of the latter, so I'm gonna chalk that up to regional differences like soda versus pop. Edit 2. Okay. Double boiler. Comma. Sorry, I've been wrong my whole life. You knew what I meant. Toffee. So fckin good to eat, but it's annoying as if it gets stuck in between your teeth face with tears of joy. Blue crabs. They are tiny little creatures. Take a lot of work to open and get the meat. But they are the best tasting things ever cooked. Sunflower seeds. Take forever to get a handful and gone in seconds. My dad makes a really delicious cherry jam. But he doesn't remove the stones. Because spitting them out is part of the experience. Oranges. I love the taste and juice. But they make your hands super sticky. Depending on where you get them. Flippin' tacos. It's like this stupid new trendy thing to put them in the smallest possible taco and then mound so much food on it that every single time you take a bite, half of the food in the taco falls out. Absolutely stupid. Lychees. You gotta twist them off the branch. Peel off the rough skin. Chew the sweet delicious fruity flesh off and somehow prevent yourself from accidentally swallowing the stone. But it's worth it for that sweet goodness. Corn. It's not particularly hard to eat, but it's just annoying to eat. It's delicious and I love it with salt, pepper, and butter. But the kernels always get stuck in my teeth and it stays there for far too long and can be difficult to remove. Kiwis taste beautiful. But they leave an annoying feeling in your tongue. Like you just sipped boiling water. I don't know if you guys get Toblerone in the US. But it's basically delicious Swiss chocolate. Shaped to up the roof of your mouth. Everything when you have a cut in your mouth. All of a sudden even water stings sometimes after that. I'd say really scalding hot foods that make you HSF not even able to really taste the food sometimes. Mango. Best fruit ever, but the strings you have to pick from your teeth make me think twice before eating it. Barbecued watermelon slices. If you put a slice of watermelon on a barbecue, the outside caramelizes while the inside stays juicy. But you have to sit there watching it thinking, I could have eaten it by now. As a Marylander. Steamed crabs. I see a lot of people saying crawfish and crab legs. But steamed crabs take the cake. There's so much work just for minuscule amounts of crab meat. And there's many different ways to pick a crab. Each crab takes about 2 minutes. And that's if you're decent. The payoff is well worth it because there's nothing like crabs with some Old Bay and a natty bow on a hot summer day. Soup dumplings are incredible. Unfortunately, they require 1. Picking it up with tongs to avoid breaking it and letting it leak, 2. Placing the dumpling on a spoon, 3. Biting the top portion off, only 4. Taking a spoon of vinegar or soy sauce and pouring it into the open part, 5. Eating it whole the first few tries. I kept breaking them and it leaked, essentially ruining it. Crawfish. Being from Baton Rouge, I love a good crawfish boil, but the time and effort it takes to peel them makes it a pain in the for sure. Some people are better at peeling than others and I'm better than average, I'd say, but it still can cut up your fingers. Also, with the time it takes to peel them versus the low yield, I usually just have to fill up with the corn and potatoes. Otherwise I'll just be hungry still no matter the amount. Still a fun and tasty event. Prawns. They take so goddamn long to prepare, but Jesus, I love them. Lemons or limes. I love eating them alone and I would eat them every day, but they destroy my teeth and mouth. So sad. Any sour candy with the sugar crystals on them. They're so good until you've had a certain amount and then you just start scraping the roof of your mouth and your tongue raw. That one piece of chicken. You all know what I'm talking about. Walnuts. Hard to open. Ever had a fresh jackfruit? They taste delicious. Like a cross between a leaflet L pineapple and a banana. But good God, the sap. The sap of a jackfruit is a construction-grade adhesive. And it is nearly impossible to open and eat without getting it everywhere. You can just barely get it off as by scrubbing with oil and then soap and water. Cherries with seeds. Also watermelon. Popcorn. The little stupid stuff gets stuck in your gums and then you have to pull it out. One time a piece got stuck and made my gum bleed so much it looked like I just tried to drink someone's blood. I'm surprised no one said the durian. It's delicious but the smell is disgusting. Trout. Getting the spine and bones out is a pain. I'm pretty sure more of a pain than fish on average. If you have the entire trout like you caught it yourself, then there's a method where you can cook the entire thing. Then after it's done you make some snips at the tail. Pull on the tail. And the spine and bones comes out pretty easily. However, if you don't want to go that route and you want to fillet it, good luck. Also seems like fillets you get from the store will often have bones in them. A chicken and bacon sandwich. It's the only food where I'm out of breath by the end of it. Why is no one mentioning fish? It has so many spikes. Is there any fish or any way of cutting fish that removes every spike? I am from third world and have heard about MCD filet-o-fish. Like, how does that fish doesn't have spikes? Enlighten me please. Oranges. I need to mentally hype myself up to peel an orange. I'm not talking about the wee satsumas. No. I'm talking about the oranges with the thick skin that you need to claw your way into and then find orange zest under your fingernails for the next week. Love me an orange though. Carpus and adobo. Pajaritos fritos. Man. Skinny bones everywhere. Turmeric is so healthy for inflammation and brain disease, but get that stuff on your clothes. Also mangosteens. A delicious fruit about the size of a grape, but the shell is the size of a small lemon and hard as wood and slippery to cut. Whole artichokes. It's a hassle to cut them. Remove the choke. And then when they're ready you have to bite the leaf just right to avoid it splitting and getting the fibers in your mouth. Still, nothing beats a fresh artichoke. Canned artichoke hearts can't scratch that itch. Salty shelled peanuts. So messy but so good. Bats. So tasty, but then the entire world has to stay inside their house for a while. Any fish meal that isn't a fillet of fish. I just cannot be bothered with all the tiny bones. Pistachios. They taste good. But I cannot get those motherfuckers open. SKSKSK. Lobster. So much work for so little meat, but is it so good dipped in hot butter? Source. From Maine. Crabs. The meat may be sweet but it's a pain going through the shells with the cracking and separating. Crab. You have to fight your way to the meat. It's annoying as. Cadbury eclairs. One of my favorite chocolates, but they're so hard to chew. Plus, once you manage to actually bite into it, it gets so stuck in your teeth. Caramel dipped apple sticks. They are downright impossible to eat. It's better to just slice them. Skeptical smiley face. Crab legs. First off, it is like getting in a fight with a big bug, and usually there is not enough to fill me up, so I am always hungry afterwards. Then they are just so messy to eat. When my husband is out of town, I sit naked on a towel at the dining room Pull my hair back and get cracking. Letting the melted butter run down my face. Arms and chest. He would be mortified to see me getting all primal.